Welcome to the Royal Marine Light Infantry. I know that you're all recruits and that you've signed the papers to become soldiers, but you're not going to go into your regiments right away. What will happen is that for the first week, you're going to be with us and you're going to learn what it's like to be a soldier. So we split you into 3 groups, approximately equal, and we're going to send you to 3 different stations so that you can learn a bit about what it is you're going to become and how you're going to live. The year is 1860 and we're on San Juan Island. You know where San Juan Island is? Right now, this island is in dispute. The Americans have got 100 soldiers stationed in the south end, and we have 100 Royal Marines stationed in the north end. So what's going to happen is after you do your week here, you're going to be going off to San Juan Island. You're going to be part of the garrison. Do you understand? Yeah. Do you understand?
Yeah. Sir, yes, sir.
I'm not a sir, I'm a corporal.
It's hot. There's a live fire inside. Invented by Alexis Soyer, a French-trained chef from a London fancy restaurant, the Savoy or something. Went to the Crimea. He was appalled at the conditions under which the British Army was trying to cook its food. Open fires, big pails of water, totally inefficient, not enough wood on the peninsula to do even a tenth of what they attempted. It's basically a ship's galley on land. And a version of this very field kitchen was used by the British Army, the US Army, Canadian Army, up until the Falklands. Amazing. The first Gulf War, 1991. This was in 1855.
Amazing.
Amazing indeed, because it works. It's handy and it works. And this is how the British Army cooked almost everything. Boiled it. So what we have in here is a brisket. I don't know if I can get it out.
Look at that. Oh my God.
That was delicious. Yummy.
Huh? Peace pudding. And bread pudding. Bread pudding is composed of suet and flour with a little bit of sugar and a little bit of water, just enough water to make it into a dough. This has raisins in it, and they all had different names. Now, this has just come out of boiling hot water.
So it's a bit warm.
But look at the center.
Wow.
The outside,
It's rising, yeah.
the outside is a little bit soggy, glistening, we call that.
Glistening.
Yes, but inside, the flour has absorbed the fat from the suet,
Wow.
and it has turned flour into something a little more palatable. The fat.
What do you think,
Its
guys?
energy.
Good.
Very good. And believe me,
This is still a single shot rifle. I'm going to demonstrate how to fire a round, and then as you've heard, you can all have a try. Essentially, what we have to do is load this from the front. So each of us is going to take a round. Now, I have to press upon you, these are real rifles. The powder charge we're using normally would have a bullet like this in front of it. You can feel the weight of that. It's fairly serious. Now the powder charge we're using is enough to propel that bullet through a human being. So even the gunpowder itself can give significant burns. So we're going to have to be very careful. This box holds 50 rounds. When I get ready, I put 10 of them in here, ready for the battle. The only thing that's missing is the bullet at the bottom. Now I have to open it. If you're feeling macho, you bite the top off, or you can tear the top off, and you'll see the gunpowder in there. It's just looks like granular powder. All right, but that's extremely explosive. No smoking. That goes down the barrel like so. And then put the paper down. That's a bit of wadding to hold the gunpowder in place. And then the ramrod. 2 taps. Replace the ramrod. And you're ready to go. So it's now a loaded gun. You have to be very careful at this point. And then we keeping the barrel that way, bring it up like this. And we're ready to fire. I'll then hand you a percussion cap. Percussion cap goes on this small cap at the back of the gun. That's what's going to fire it. That's just like one of those rings of red caps that kids have today. It's a little bit of fulminated mercury, but that's what's, when the hammer hits it, it's going to set off the main charge. Now the hammer has two positions. Right now, I've pulled it halfway back. It's at the half cock. The gun will not go off half cocked, or that's where the expression comes from. When you mean business, when I give you the command present, you bring it up, bring it all the way back, and fire. All right? And now you should be able to do that once every 20 seconds, 3 times a minute. That was what is expected of a British recruit. So it becomes very automatic. That's why they're wearing the neck stock. That's why they drill. So you can do that over and over again, even when you're scared out of your mind, and even when someone's charging towards you. But in the Crimea, British soldiers were actually just able to stand 2 men deep and stop charging Russian cavalry coming towards them at the full gallop. They were able to fire fast enough to put down a wall of bullets that simply stopped that line of horses.
All the way in. All the way in.
Everybody.
That's it. All the way in here. This is, anyone have an idea?
Neck brace.
Those are my underwear, miss. This is called a stock, and it fits on you like this. Now, as you can see, you can't put your head down, can you? And that is going to be part of your kit. So you see how I'm wearing a neck cloth? I don't have to wear that right now because we're in a more casual setting. But if I'm on the parade square, I have to wear that. If there's any officers around, I have to wear that. It stops you from looking away. So when you're in the battle, you can't turn your head away. You can't get scared. You're forced to look ahead of you. So it keeps your head up, keeps your shoulders back, and forces you to look at the enemy. It is the single most hated piece, you can pass that around, most hated piece of kit in the British Army. So you can see that it is all made of leather.
Oh my goodness.
Does anyone have an idea what, you can pass it around, does anybody have an idea what it's held together with? No. It's held together with little tiny divots of wood.
Really?
See, when we're out in the field marching around, we may not have access to little tiny nails, but we do have access to pieces of wood. I'm certain that all the gentlemen here are wearing drawers. This is 1860s underwear. You get one set. It's made of very, very thin linen or cotton. You sew it up yourself, so use whatever thread you've got. And once it's ruined, which is very quickly because the men only bathe once a week, so after a very short time, these are ruined. So you take them, you give them a good wash, and then you cut them up and use them for bags. And then you find some more sailcloth and you knit yourself another pair of drawers. Miss, what have you got next to you? All right, this is our mattress. If you're really lucky, you get one of these. That means you have to be in a station that's there for a long time. It is.
Oh, look at that.
I still have a little bit left over. What's inside of it?
Hay or grass.
I'm going to take this and I'm going to pack it with as much hay as I possibly can. It will be this big, filled with hay. And then that's what the two of us are going to be sleeping on. So it keeps you a little bit off. But you have to be in a place where you're going to be there for a long time because you can't travel from place to place with a lot of hay. So if you're in what we call garrison, in one place for a long time, you get to fill it with hay. That's what we call our hold all. That's sort of like your personal kit. So, for example, you would have in here a toothbrush. And the toothbrush is made of ivory or bone, and it's got boar's bristles. It's the bristles from a pig inside of there. And then you can use a little bit of tooth powder. You have toothpaste, right? Well, paste is powder and water mixed together. Well, this is just the powder part of it. So you can take a little bit of this, add a little bit of water to it, you make your own paste. This is baking soda with a little bit of essence of peppermint. It's very nice. It's very nice. And your file mate likes it too. Right? We also have all of our shaving kit, and you know how men shaved in that time period. Right? So we have what we call a cutthroat, and it is a single blade that's honed to a very, very fine edge, and it is the fastest shave you'll ever have in your life. Not all of you will be shaving, but some of you will be, so just be aware of that when you're ready. It is a deadly piece of kit.